Welcome, ladies and gentlemen, on the internets and around the world. I'm Apple Bottoms Up.
Julia Sleazer.
Joining you this afternoon from Track 2, Day 3 of the Big O Roller Derby Tournament, we have in the white Wheels of Mayhem from Mexico.
And we have Puget Sound Outcasts from Seattle, Washington.
I'm going to run through the Wheels of Mayhem roster. Number 10, Raid Runner. Number 108, Ponxonia. Number 1122, Degel. Number 14, Fast Wolf. 217, Lignan. Number 25, Dr. Manhattan. Number 360, Fat Bastard. Number 38, Esparza. Number 5, Ghost. Number 55, Daredover. And number 99, Huracan.
And for Puget Sound Outcasts, who are wearing navy blue, 11, Thunderstruck. 14, Ryrod. 15, Kieran. 187, Big Bill. 2, Vita Ramon. 22, Optimus Squad. 2468, Dylan Botts. 247, Chuck Hollywood Hedrick. 309, Fancy Pants. 33, Arsenic. 37, Stark. 41, Rogers. 55, Corporal Punishment. And last but certainly not least, 90, Mamba.
Y bienvenidos a la gente en México, buscando en la televisión de webcast. Me llamo Apple Bottoms Up y voy a explicar en español si puedo. Well, that just means I'm going to try to talk if I can.
Yeah, I know a bit of Spanish, but I mostly have been learning it recently because I will be doing a World Cup in Barcelona, and the application I've used so far has taught me how to say things like Luis eats spiders, which it's not come up yet, but I do know how to warn people against this young man were this to become a situation. So, good you. I can usually understand what's being said to me, but I cannot answer back. And I studied dead languages for years, and that's kind of how my life has turned out.
Well, I sometimes think I can read Spanish and Italian and all those things, but yeah, we'll see how it goes today. Number 99 on the line for the Wheels of Mayhem, Huracan versus number 247, Hollywood.
And we are off. Immediately, Huracan zinging his way halfway through the pack, but he's met up with bots and a wall containing Big Bill. I believe that is Optimus Quad and Thunderstruck as well.
Huracan being taken to the inside. Gold Jammer still in the pack, but the pack is being strung out. Bridging, allowing Puget Sounds, Jammer, Hollywood to be your lead.
Hollywood coming in and his first scoring pass. He's going to be sent off. A forearms penalty being assessed. So now it turns into a power jam for Wheels of Mayhem.
And Huracan going down hard at the center of the track. Meanwhile, swarming by both teams. Both blockers hitting at the same time. Huracan has to reset behind Seattle. Looks like a no pass, no penalty. He resets knowing he's going to straddle the line and go out once again. Huracan re-entering as his pivot goes off to the penalty box. That's 30 seconds for the pivot. Daredover.
Pack all but at a standstill. Thunderstruck holding together the 3 brace, and Bots off to the side just in case. Oh no, sorry, Bots is part of the 3 brace. I saw the helmet duck down. That was Huracan trying to press through. Wasn't quite capable of doing. Hollywood is back on the track and in play, mashing his way through and picking up what? 4 points.
Maybe that's why they call him Hollywood. Huracan having a hard time going up against Puget Sound today. Of course, these teams have been playing all weekend. I was fortunate enough to announce the Wheels going up against our own LCC, and they dominated that game. LCC telling me they were surprised at the skill level of this #1 men's team in Mexico. Right now, Puget Sound's Jammer out for another 5 points. And Huracan trying to star pass, but decides to hold on to it, and the jam is finished.
So that was a 14-point jam, 13-point jam? Oh, right, because it was 4-5. Okay, math. A 13-point jam for Puget Sound Outcasts off for that first jam of this game. 0 points picked up by Wheels of Mayhem.
Y tenemos al número 14, Fast Wolf, y 309, Fancy Pants in azul.
Which is to say, Fast Wolf is in white, Fancy Pants in blue. Fancy Pants coming up through the pack very quickly, able to get lead jammer status for Seattle once again.
And having a hard time at the back of the pack. Still has a few to get past. He's going to the outside. Wheels of Mayhem's Jammer being lapped by Puget Sound. And it looks like 309 Fancy Pants, 5 points.
Fancy Pants coming in on another scoring pass. Not quite zinging through as easily as before. Corporal Punishment up front trying to break up Wheels of Mayhem's defenses along with Rogers.
And they call the jam. 3 points for Puget Sound, 0 for Wheels. 21 puntos for Puget Sound. Wheels of Mayhem, of course, wanting to get some points on the board. I will let you know, though, their roster is incredibly short. If you look at our paper, it's almost unfair, but at this point, 11 players on the team of Wheels of Mayhem.
This is actually one more person than they had turned in the original rosters, because I saw they were coming in, I thought, with 12. And then we've got 13 in front of us, two not playing this game, which is Livendera and Lucky Bastard. But I don't think Livendera played Friday either, so I'm not sure that he's here.
Yeah, I have not seen him. A multiplayer block being issued to the pivot on Wheels of Mayhem. He's going to go off to the penalty box as Huracan is out and clear for now, scoring pass. Meanwhile, Puget Sound's Jammer has re-entered the back of the pack. He is calling that jam, number 27.
So that was Stark. Your scoreboard may have said bots, but it's not the same person.
That's Carrie.
What?
Jammer was Stark.
Yeah, I know.
Okay, it said bots before.
Oh, a bot's is one of the bots.
Oh, okay.
All right, a little clarification between the webcast and the house feed for just a moment. We have number 90 Mamba on the track for Puget Sound, starting in a jam against Ponsonia, number 108. Mamba to the outside, getting stuck behind a 3-wall, including Digel and Esparza. Now running back with Ghost, a huge holder hit.
Mamba trying to muscle his way through and isn't getting any purchase in the Wheels of Mayhem defenses, but now he is through lead. Jammer status awarded to Seattle yet again.
That's right, Seattle up in all the rain. All they have to do is train. You know all about that, right, Sleazer?
Yeah, actually, yes, I do.
All right, Ghost and number 217, Lignan, taking back Puget Sound's Mamba. Ghost trying once again, but Mamba is through the pack.
So does the Jammer and a blocker sitting in the box for Wheels of Mayhem. So we are on a power jam for Seattle.
Lignan coming to the side of the track to adjust his skate for just a moment. Looks like he's got a loose shoelace. Don't want to have that happen. Looks like a Seattle skater also down with a loose shoelace. And at the same time. Anyhow, it's Ponsonia right on the tail of Mamba. Mamba decides to call that jam. One exciting first few, and it's the first on the board. 38-0 for Wheels of Mayhem, wanting to get that first point on the board.
Definitely. So we're going to next up have Fast Wolf, who is high in the Wheels of Mayhem rotation, facing off against Fancy Pants, number 309 from Seattle.
All right, and to the outside is Puget Sound's Jammer. Fast Wolf still at a standstill at the back of the pack with a huge 3-wall of Puget Sound's blockers. It's 5-on-5 on the track. Number 55 going out to try to knock about. Lignan knocks him out, resets. Fast Wolf still in the pack as the Jammer from Puget Sound re-enters at the back.
Fancy Pants dancing his way through the pack. Makes it through. That's his first scoring pass at 5 points. Got Vita Ramon and Optimus Squad both up front, along with Thunderstruck and Corporal Punishment doing their best to keep Fast Wolf back. Fast Wolf has just completed his initial pass.
He's very happy to be out, but not before he can score any points. Once again, this is mini jams holding them scoreless. Mexico's team, Wheels of Mayhem, is trying to get on the board. Let's talk about our after party tonight. If you are all ages, you can head on down to Sizzle Pie if you're in the Eugene area.
Yeah,
Guess
if you're
guys
alive,
online
you're
aren't
invited
there.
to Sizzle Pie if you like.
But if you want to make the long journey to Eugene, Oregon, you can join us later on tonight. Otherwise, we'll just keep our sponsor shout-outs maybe to our merch and vendors.
That's fair. Yeah. So Hurricane facing off against Stark. Stark gets through lead jammer status again to Seattle. Auto play call on Wheels of Mayhem skater up front, number 1122, Diggle.
Stark re-entering, gets knocked to the outside by a group of Wheels of Mayhem blockers. Huracan still struggling with one man bridging above, trying to help out. Decides he's going to come in and clear the line to the outside. Huracan is finally out with one to beat. Meanwhile, Stark re-enters at the back of the pack. He's got to get through. But number 38 from Wheels of Mayhem, Esparza, one to pass, 4 on the board again for Puget Sound.
So Stark had there a 9-point jam, bringing Puget Sound up to 56. Wheels of Mayhem still at 0, 21:04 left in this half.
It's número 14, Fast Wolf, y 90 es Mamba en azul.
Mamba had a little bit of a slip of escape, but it is not going to hold him back at all. Dancing through on his toe stomps, he is out of the pack. Lead jammer status once again to Seattle. 2-4-6-8 headed off to the box is going to bring the Seattle defenses down just one.
And Fast Wolf still in the back, resetting behind number 11 from Puget Sound, Thunderstruck.
Mamba just absurdly flexible. I don't know how else to explain it. I see like part of his body over here and part of his body very far away. I'm like, I don't know how you're doing this.
He's just landing on toe stops and dancing around.
Yeah, no, it's amazing. I'm always impressed every game I see him in. So number 14, Fast Wolf to the box. It's going to lead to Power Jam for Seattle. Power start now.
Yes, I remember the first couple times I saw Mamba skate and was very impressed with him. I think I saw him at RollerCon a couple of years ago. He was a force and is showing that on the track today as a team timeout issued by the Wheels of Mayhem. I want to just give a quick shout out, Wheels of Mayhem, el número 1 en México. Quieren decir salud a Rico y Letal. Y también hola a Jerry Lucky Bastard. Y la gente de Mexicali y Perdones. Well, that's what I got off the bench. Don't be mad if I didn't say it right. I'm trying my best. I'm Apple Bottoms Up, trying my first attempt at a little bilingual announcing. So we hope you're enjoying yourselves. If you're watching, we'd like to thank some of our sponsors for the tournament this weekend, our support staff, the volunteers, DJ Agent Meow, the live stream broadcast, of course, that you're enjoying right now. Tieback Production Services has been filming and live streaming this event. Marketing support provided by Travel for Lane County. And kudos and thanks to the Big O Tech team for making the magic happen behind the scenes. Well, Sleazer, I'm pleased to be announcing with you. This is our first time announcing at the Big O. Of course, we've seen each other around in the last few years.
It's true.
Definitely enjoy this tournament. I feel like it's growing every year to be more inclusive, men's, women's, and juniors. On the track right now, we have number 309 for Puget Sound. That is Fancy Pants, your lead jammer in this Power Jam start.
Still frozen in the box is Fast Wolf, who is still sitting. So I'm not positive if he was assessed more. No, I guess he sat like right as the jam ended, so it's about right.
See. And Fast Wolf to the outside. Going down is number 15, Kieran on the Puget Sound. Right back up. Fast Wolf finally out of the pack with a whip from his teammate. He's finally through, but can he make it past? That's Fast Wolf catching up to Fancy Pants. Well, there you go, ladies and gentlemen, forcing the call off as it should be. 5 points awarded to Puget Sound, but could have been worse. Wheels of Mayhem.
Was a 10-point jam. Puget Sound Outcasts sitting at 80. Wheels of Mayhem still at 0. 18 and a half minutes left in this half. Carrie Stark taking the line against Hurricane.
All right, and a huge hit, taking back Stark for the first time in this. We have a chance at Wheels getting power lead. We will see if Hurricane can get it, and Stark seemingly up, but he has gotten a cut track penalty. If you're out there in the world, cheer on the Wheels of Mayhem. Their jammer has the opportunity to get out and score points. Es una oportunidad, gane el primero puntos en ese equipo, el Hurricane. 99, se cae y gane 5 puntos. Wheels of Mayhem on the board, Hurricane. Y con un poco ayuda de Fast Wolf, Hurricane adentro. Un más, pero corre y patine. Es Hurricane, gana puntos, pero hay 2 personas en el equipo Puget Sound adentro y él necesita regresar detrás de persona quien golpea con Hurricane. Oh, Puget Sound taking back Hurricane, and a huge hit to a skater re-entering the track, but legally taking Fast Wolf off. Looks for a little from his opponent, the jammer in Puget Sound, getting a hit on Stark. Hurricane taken back behind 2, 4, 6, 8. That is Dylan Botts putting the hurt on Hurricane. And 2 more to beat at the top of turn 1, but almost out. Puget Sound's jammer, Stark, now out. No points on that last pass, his initial pass. Of course, we have no lead jammer, and Hurricane going to the penalty box, or excuse me, at the end of this jam. I'm not sure if a penalty was assessed. We're going to have an official timeout, and we're going to see if there's a review being questioned by Puget Sound. I believe that's what's happening.
I'll go find out what's going on. Because I'm nosy.
We'd like to thank some of our local sponsors. Rydell is local for us today.
Yeah, the local as in they are on the planet Earth with us. The Big O tournament is brought to you in part by Rydell Skates and the all-new Solaris plates. The performance you demand, the comfort you've been missing. You can check them out online or hopefully at your local skate shop. And if your local skate shop doesn't carry Rydell, have a word with them.
So the new Solaris is actually their skate, but Powerdyne has changed the game again.
I skipped a line.
And they are the now producing with Rydell the Arius Platinum plate. So you can get the Platinum Arius plate and your new Solaris boot from the Rydell shop online. If you want to check those out, go online, type in Rydell. Big sponsor of the Big O this year. We hope you're enjoying yourself at home, ladies and gentlemen. This 3-day tournament coming to its final day. These teams have skated a lot. LCC had lost to the Wheels of Mayhem.
They are going to be contesting whether or not Dylan Botts cut the track.
Glad you're on that, Sleazer. So as we decide, our house announcer, Phil Grander, is going to go up, check with the referee, see what's going on, maybe give us a little scoop.
Got it. You can do it as well.
And we're going to wait and see what's the fuss.
The review they're asking for is to review the counting call on Dylan Botts. They felt that the person he supposedly having actually cupped 2 hands down, but then had popped back up, so was actually out of play and couldn't have been a person's great cut. So we'll find out here in just a minute. They either come out of the box or won't.
Well, the question is whether Bots is going to be issued a penalty on that last jam or not. And Seattle going to get some clarification. We'll see what's going on. Sitting in the box right now
is Bots. So if Bots comes out of the box, y'all know what happened. Am I right? I wish Mamba would go back to dancing, though.
Yeah.
There should be more, 100% more dancing during official reviews and official timeouts. If you're a skater, please do us all a service. No, I'm just kidding. He is fun, though.
Well, you got to kill the time somehow.
The track.
Yeah,
right.
I'm glad that you guys
and
are sticking around.
Keep his muscles warmed up, ready to go.
We appreciate our official crew out there making sure that everyone's on the same page with that last. It looks like Bots is staying in the box. We're going to get started back up in just a minute, but I have a sneaky little paper in front of me. I'm not allowed to tell you folks at home about what I'm looking at, but I'm going to just maybe let you think about what could be. Later on tonight, we're going to be having an MVP game, and the rosters are out for that. So if you keep watching, that's going to be on track 1 tonight. About 8:30, 8:40, we're going to have the men's and women's MVP going up against teams that we have created. So it's going to be an exciting end.
Actually, the MVP teams will go up against Team USA, so it's not that we created them, as people auditioned for them and were accepted.
Well, you know, we created them by loving all these amazing skaters. I have had skaters in our local league go up for the MVP tryouts and just absolutely was one of the hardest experiences in their life.
So the MVPs are chosen by each team. Team USA, on the other hand, determined by international competition.
Yes, that's what I mean. We've had some skaters kind of try out.
What? What is this, though? Give it to me.
It's
Tell me the
lead
thing.
number 14, Fast Wolf. How did that happen? We were blah-blahing. Okay,
I
Fast
know.
Wolf.
We
Wheels
worked
of
for too
Mayhem.
long, lady.
Wheels of Mayhem. Huge trump by Fast Wolf. 5 puntos por el número 14, Fast Wolf. A much needed rejuvenation after that little moment of official review. And they call it how many points? 4 more on the board for Fast Wolf.
All right. So that brings them up 18-81. What's that, girl?
It's a game.
It's a palindrome. It's a taco cat. It's a palindrome.
A palindrome.
It's my favorite thing.
It is 1881. There you go. I wonder if we have any more palindromes throughout the game.
I hope so. Well, I know if you get Rogers and Ryrod on the track at the same time and you line them up right, it's 14 and 41.
Oh, nice.
Or 41 and 14. You can do it. Either. I'm not here to tell you how to line the guys up.
Let's line up number 99, Huracan, up against 309, sneaking out the outside. Fancy Pants is your lead for Puget Sound. And up the inside, Puget Sound not scoring. Oh, excuse me, 5 points on that. He did get the jammer point on that. Huracan giving a little trouble. Getting in front.
Coming at him, giving him the hassle. How much hassle did Fancy Pants observe, though? Oh, there was nothing picked up by that, but it was a commendable hassle.
3 points picked up by Wheels.
There was no points picked up on the Puget Sound pass. 3 points picked up by Wheels of Mayhem.
Awesome.
Yeah, great.
Wheels of Mayhem sneaking up the palindrome. Number 14, Fast Wolf, once again up against Stark, number 37. And lining up behind and below Stark, trying to gauge where to sneak in. Tries to go up the inside, denied by number 11 on Thunderstruck. Oh, and huge Wolf, Fast Wolf having to go back behind number 22, Optimus Quad resets. Optimus Quad joined by Ryrod. Oh, everybody smacking on. Oh,
knocking himself down. What?
Well, we're doing a lot of oohing and ahhing, but that was Fast Wolf staying in. Fantastic.
I was
Number
talking
11.
about Thunderstruck was like popping people out, then popped himself out. I think got a penalty as well.
Oh, it looks like this jam coming in. No points on the board for Wheels or Puget Sound. Officials going to bring it in together to have some discussion.
It was a 4-point total for the jam for the Outcasts, 90-21. I'm not sure what the discussion on, if it is on points. I'll eyeball it. I'll remember this number forever, and I'll There's so many whistles happening right now that I keep going like, is that us coming back? So we are going to reveal the MVP rosters right before halftime, and then the other one when we come back.
Oh my gosh, that's so exciting. So exciting. Are you sure we're allowed to tell these people?
Yeah, in fact, our walk-in came and told me how to. Yeah, that's why it's in front of you.
I don't want to give away the secret,
Like,
but the
don't.
secret
Okay, so if you
roster-
have a secret and you're like, it's sitting right in front of me, and you know that you can't give it away, don't taunt them. That's not how you make friends.
I know, but I want them to stay tuned later on to listen.
Well, then I've taunted them appropriately. Like, hey, we're gonna reveal one of them, which will be the men's, right before we go to half, and then we will reveal upon re-entering the half the women's rosters for tonight.
It's going to be exciting. I love all of these names. I'll be announcing it for the house, so the web audience won't be hearing us for that, but they'll be hearing us on the live house call.
I'm totally stealing the men's. I haven't got to look at it yet. She yoinked them from me.
I know, I'm very excited. Well, it's always a fun part of the Big O tournament weekend. These teams have all put forth their best efforts, and then we allow them to choose from the opposing team at each game who the MVP is. They just met on the track, maybe they've met before, but the bottom line is it's an opportunity to play it by game and chosen by the skaters for the team. So anyhow, we have a roster of men's and women's, and then the juniors are doing their own little thing.
They do have an expo as well tonight, so you can check out our schedule online because I can't read. Oh no, it's right next to you. Good. Let me see that for a second. What times do we got?
8 o'clock for
the Modified Juniors Expo that you're talking about is at 6:30 on track 1. 8 p.m. is the men's Big O MVP bout versus who is here from Team USA men's, and then at 8:40. Big O MVP women's versus Team USA women's.
And that's again in Pacific Daylight Time. If you got to change things around, and hopefully you're staying up later or getting up at the crack of dawn to watch this with us. Because we've been here for a while.
Couple minutes.
That's right. You can participate from home if you'd like to hashtag Big O Roller Derby and get some photos of yourself listening to the broadcast. Or if you want to show us your kitty cats and your dogs.
There's a special hashtag. It's hashtag Cats of Big O. I already know this one.
Hashtag Big O. No, it's hashtag Big O Cats.
Oh, my bad.
And hashtag Big O Dogs.
I'm thinking of Cats of Instagram. Last year, I got accused of making up that hashtag, and I was like, look at your sponsor sheet, sir.
All right, number 247 on the line. That's Hendrickson.
Hollywood.
That might be his last name. So yeah,
it's Hollywood Chuck Hendrick, yeah.
Hollywood is what he'd like to be called. Meanwhile, Wheels of Mayhem's Jammer.
We're back.
In the penalty box.
So it's going to be power start for Hollywood, a.k.a. Chuck Hendrick.
That's right.
We got all his names. If I knew his let's give him a middle name.
Well, Chuck is already in his name, so that's funny enough.
His name is Chuck.
Chucky Hollywood.
Charles.
Well, Charles is at the top of the turn, just has to go past Lin and a hit by Linyan. Not enough to stop Chuck D coming through. Chuck gets a hit out. Hollywood has to reset pass behind number 25, Dr. Manhattan. Hollywood has to reset behind Manhattan. It's like a time warp. All right, meanwhile, our jammer 99, Huracan. We want him to pass through. He's going down. He's right back up. One to beat. Water falling by Puget Town, and 55 way out of play.
Yeah, he's got to let it go. Tried to chase, wasn't sure if he had a bridge behind him, but he did not touch when he was not supposed to. Commendable control brought to you by Corporal Punishment. Try saying that 3 times fast.
I'm not even going to try. 5 points on the board for Puget Sound. What's our score, Julia?
That is a 15-point pass, so we're at 105, still at 21 for Wheels of Mayhem. We've got just under 12 minutes left in this half.
All right, well, one of your favorites, Mamba number 90, up against Ponsonia, who jammed a lot earlier in the tournament, number 108 in the white. Ponsonia on the inside, up the line. Mamba is your lead jammer as Ponsonia goes to the outside, has an open line closed up by number 2. Knocks to the outside, inside. He has got to get through. Mamba on a scoring pass right behind him.
Arsenic taking that hit, but taking himself out. Vito Ramon going to chase, but not quite make it. So Ponsonia is safely away Having completed his initial, Mamba not going to let him score any points, calls it off. 5 more points on the board for Puget Sound Outcasts, bringing him up to 110.
Y tenemos 10 minutos más en este primero parte de el equipo, el juegue. Y tenemos 99 Hurricane y Fancy Pants en el azul.
So that is Fancy Pants and Blue, Hurricane in white.
Y empezando en the pivot line, todos los blockers juntos, todos la gente en el piso. Everyone's on the floor today, 5-on-5. And it is a penalty for Hurricane. Él tiene su penalty, se llama
Forearms.
forearm y gane 30 segundos en el caja de penalty box. Y Daredevil returning on the track to join, but now being the GOAT, taken to the floor, but Dr. Bots went down himself just a bit fast. Daredevil's going to go ahead and re-enter. And Dylan Bots on that last one. Fancy Pants coming in at the back of the pack. Join. Oh, takes a fall. Hurricane has an opportunity to get through this 4-wall.
This 4-wall is going to be pretty rough. Optimus Quad, a Rod, Bots, and
41.
Rogers.
That's Rogers.
Yeah. So Optimus Quad and Rogers almost the same height and same build in many ways. Make a wall of their own, and then Ryrod and Bots, both very agile, strong skaters. So that wall is tough to contend against. So while the score is spreading out further and further, I do want you to keep in mind, one, this team is fairly young. They got their MRDA status last year. This is 10 years for Puget Sound Outcasts. Wheels of Mayhem 11th game of record was against Gatekeepers this weekend, and I think this is maybe their 5th or 6th MRDA sanctioned game.
And again, playing with a very short roster. You have 11 skaters, 2 to 3 primary jammers that are, quite frankly, being abused by this Puget Sound team. And they had very strong games earlier against LCC yesterday. I got to announce that, and they did fantastic. The Wheels of Mayhem, of course, who we're talking about. Right now, your lead on the track right now, number 37, Stark in the blue. And a hip hop by 247. Hollywood tries to catch up to Ponsonia.
Looks like Esparza had to go get an ice pack. He's sitting on his bench with it on his knee. I didn't see him get hurt, but it's always nice to take advantage of our medical crew.
Oh, and hopefully if you only have to take advantage of a bag of ice, you're in good shape in that regard. And I would like to thank our audience on the live broadcast. We love hearing from you. I can't say that we'll be able to answer you if you send us a message, but if you'd like to hashtag some stuff, you can hashtag at just Big O 2017. Hashtag Big O 2017. Or if you'd like to get a picture of your fantastic feline or dog friends, hashtag Big O Cats, hashtag Big O Dogs. On the board is Puget Sound's lead jammer, Mamba. Sneaks through the inside, past Wheels of Mayhem's team, still in the box. The jammer sitting right now is number 55. That's Daredevil for Wheels of Mayhem. Not sure if we had a star pass on that last one, but Puget Sound's jammer now re-enters the back of the packs. 3-2 to beat. Miguel and Lignan unable to stop Mamba. Oh, did you see that jump? It was Mamba for 5 points. Meanwhile, Skater, we're going to attend to This
Fast Wolf looked like he took a bit of a harder spill. This is a pretty unforgiving floor. You've seen it on Sports Court, am I right?
Yes.
You might as well have just gotten like some tile and been like, there you go. enjoy.
Yeah, it's like hard plastic.
It's
tile.
like hard
not
plastic.
forgiving, and there's
Nah.
cement flooring below, so it is very tough on these skaters. That's why it's amazing that they're using good gear. Cut track penalty being issued to number 55, who just took a moment in the box in the last part of this jam, so giving Black Mamba an opportunity, which he doesn't ever need. Or, excuse me, giving Mamba an opportunity. And we have a call off 4-0.
Yep. So that is a 28-point jam for Puget Sound Outcasts. We're still holding Wheels of Mayhem at 21, 150-21. The clock is going to be frozen at 5:46 on Jam 17. What do we have? An official review from...
Being asked by Wheels.
Oh, I think Puget Sound lost their official review earlier.
All right, well, it's a good chance for us to talk about some of our lovely sponsors.
Moda Skates, for skaters by skater. Their Boss plates are the most dependable plate on the market. Available in 20 custom colors. Stop by their website and check them out as soon as you can.
Well, one of my favorites to give shout-outs to is S1 helmets. They protect my head. They protect the ref's head. They protect your little child's head. Don't do anything if you don't have your S1 helmet, especially the Lifer helmet, now featuring the Lifer visor. It's next level protection, durable, functional, stable. The S1 Pro knee pads are also a new addition to the S1 family. We've got them here, and you can order them online. S1.
So I think we're about to get this back underway. Yep, next whistle starts the jam. Hooray, next whistle.
It's number 15, Kieran, taking the helmet for the jamming position on Puget Sound. Kieran, is he a new addition? I feel like I've seen him for the last 2 years.
I think you've probably seen, I think it's the last year proper. He was a junior skater though, and so he aged into. So you probably did see him before, but I believe his start date with the Outcasts was early last year.
Well, he's a force, and he's your lead for Puget Sound.
Coming back into the pack from the box, number 55, Dare Dover, mashing it up as he comes in. Rod re-entering and finding his way in the back, where Dare Dover is being kept back by Vito Ramon.
Kieran had a little offense coming up on his behalf, but not enough to get past. Held back by number 5 and 115. To be 1-1-2-2. DeGale getting a penalty. He's going to go to the penalty box on that.
Kieran almost finding it completely open inside, then finds his way up against number 5, Ghost, as well as 217, Lignon. Ghost doing a great job of holding Kieran back. Kieran is now through 5 more points on the board for Puget Sound Outcasts. Dare Dover doing his best, still trying to get through the pack. Vita Ramon, Bots, and Corporal Punishment holding up the back. Rod
nice hit
coming back and forth
by the blocker on Wheels, having to take Kieran all the way back. That was number 25, Dr. Manhattan.
Right when Dare Dover thought he was going to be able to pass to Lignon, he gets a track cut penalty, and so he's headed back off to the box.
Kieran through for 5 points, Puget Sound. Kieran up against 2 skaters, goes down on the inside. Looks to the referees, and looks like that jam came to an end. Called it. 3 points on the board for Puget Sound.
This is a 17-point jam, bringing it up to 167 to Wheels of Mayhem's 21. Just under 3.5 minutes left in this half.
Well, we have a nice wave to the announcing booth from number 37, Stark, in the blue for Puget Sound.
So, an official timeout. Let's talk about how skaters don't always smell awesome. What do you think?
Ooh, I was standing next to, I won't say it's a team.
And any
can smell
team,
them a lot.
any team ever. No, I'm just kidding. Some of you smell lovely. Very few though. So you can check out Defunkify. Spray that funk away with Defunkify Active Spray. This stuff really works. Just no pressure, but things to think about.
Defunctify. That's a good. It's like a verb, an action word.
Yeah, it's like Defunkify.
That's awesome. I know they're selling some, and they were trying to sell it to me. They're like, no, it'll take away your stink. I'm like, no, I don't skate anymore. I don't smell bad
Y'all,
anymore.
Nothing in my house smells like Fritos that is not Fritos, huh?
Oh, I remember the days of driving here in the sun with lots of rubbing alcohol. Number 37, Stark, up the inside lane as he's starting in a power jam for Puget Sound. Flips behind, but caught up behind number 10, and then joined by Ghost, number 5. Oh, number 10 going to go to the penalty box on that one.
That is Raid Runner going in for his first penalty.
He's been pretty clean all this game.
Yeah. Hollywood trying to break up the defenses, so Kerry Stark has room to get through. Fast Wolf disinterested in letting him. You know, you got to have your priorities.
Tough fall to the outside by 55. He's really just trying to get past this jam.
Stark taking him out as far as he can, and they're following. It's just that lean-to, and then I've got to let him go.
Yeah, a lot of skaters utilizing the rule change that they do not have to keep playing the go back game. They can stand and wait for those blockers to stop stringing them back. And if the blockers do not stop, then they may get a penalty for not moving forward in keeping with gameplay. So it's a nice rule change. I'm appreciating that.
Ooh, Stark got 1 foot out, so he's going to come back to the back in the meantime. Blocking counter to play issued on Fast Wolf, who's going to have a seat in the box.
And I believe Daredover is just very happy to return to the bench and get out of that game.
Please let me stop being a jammer now. He was due to jammer penalties. He was in just when he tried to pass the star and he got the penalty. He looked so sad that he didn't get to. I feel like he put in a lot of effort, and this is a tough team to play, especially after. Wheels of Mayhem, I think, has played 3 before this, and Puget Sound's played 2. So
Friday,
I mean, like,
Saturday and Sunday.
Yeah, but I think Wheels of Mayhem got in 1 extra game because, like, if you travel up from Mexico, you get to do more things than if you drive down from Seattle, which is totally fine. That's not a job. That's a good showing. But I'm pretty sure that they've got more games in. That's a little more tiresome, especially when you do come in with a shorter roster than one might expect. You don't have any alternatives to take the place.
That's right, and any team at this point in a 3-day tournament is going to start running into injury and endurance and fatigue and traveling on top of that. So we are so proud of our team from Mexico, Wheels of Mayhem, putting up a good fight today. Really tough to go up against Puget Sound. They are an established league, like you said. They've had some of the best MRDA skaters and played some of the best in the Pacific Northwest and all over the world. I mean, we're very fortunate to have this level of derby, and I'm sure that team from Mexico is just incredibly excited. I was talking with them last night. They were saying they're incredibly excited to be here and their first year at the Big O, and they were asking me if we would invite them back, and I was just like, well, if it's up to me, of course.
It's technically an invitational, but they've showed like great attitude over the weekend and like great gameplay. I can't imagine that they'd be like, nah, we're cool. No, especially we're becoming more internationally competitive sports, and like a couple of 2014 with Southern Discomfort joining us at men's championships was like boom, international competition outside of World Cup competition. So it's becoming more and more so. And so to have the opportunity for a shorter travel and a team willing to come, certainly we like to mix it up. We are going to go into half. That was a 25-point pass. And so since I promised and I have permission because I talked to Walken, I'm going to give you the men's MVP rosters. So from Lane County, Tim Buck-Yu. From New York Shock Exchange, Wolverine. Vancouver Murders, Mr. Testosterone. Also from Murder, Walker. Victoria men's team, Mosh Pit Nojutsu. Chinook, which is Glenmore Reservoir Dogs, Razor. Wheels of Mayhem, Fast Wolf. New York Shock Exchange, Carla Fu. Vancouver Murder, Also, Zimmer, Wheels of Mayhem, Dr. Manhattan, St. Louis Gatekeepers, Double XL, New York Shock Exchange Shirts, Puget Sound Outcast, Carrie Stark. Also from Glenmore Reservoir Dogs, Rice Ball, Bridgetown Menace, Cosmo Damage, Gatekeepers, Monster Jam, and Screech Around, Lane County Dr. B, Victoria's Men's Just Incredible, Bridgetown Menace Munster, and also Shreddy Mercury, and then also from Puget Sound Outcast, Mamba. So that'll be your men's MVP rosters facing off tonight. So we are now going into halftime, and we'll see you in about 8.5 minutes.
Bridgetown Menace, Munster, and Shreddy Mercury, and Mamba.
Started for the second half of Wheels of Mayhem versus Puget Sound. From Denver, we're going to be having Braun Swanson, Crime City's Curly Har, and Sean from Pirate City. Denver's Wilhelm, Rose City's Gala Frey. As well, Sarah Gaither, a.k.a. Nacho Lucky Day. From Dos por Cuatro, Lula Zan. From Angel City, Soledad. From Helsinki, Maju Rin. From the Texas Roller Girls, Stoneher. From Team Victoria, Lady Trample. Arch Rivals, Swanson. Sydney Assassins, Need for Swede. Minnesota's Hertrude Stein. Windy City, Rita Hateworthy. Victoria, Bianca Scarietta. Terminal City's Made Insane. Boulder County's Catastrophobe. Rat City's CC and Angel City's Octane Jane. That will be tonight's MVP women's roster going against Team USA, who you'll have to watch to hear who their roster will be.
All right, so we have a power jam for Wheels of Mayhem. Corporal Punishment had come in as the jammer and was seated in the box.
And on the track right now is Huracan.
So Corporal Punishment is back in play. Is through on his initial. Looks like Huracan has not come through on his initial so far. In the meantime, Corporal Punishment busting it up. Taking a spill to the outside though. He's going to come in through the back. He's looking to his bench for bench coach advice.
Huracan taking off the helmet cover, stashing in plain view of the referees as the new rule set allows. And it gets knocked out by Bots to the outside, decides he is a no pass, no penalty on that one. Huracan to the outside once again by number 22 now. Optimist Quad from the Puget Sound.
A spear! Oh my God, he's cut in half.
Y bienvenido a toda la gente mirando en México, su equipo Wheels of Mayhem, el número uno en el país de México por los hombres MRDA. That's the Men's Roller Derby Association. Aquí tenemos al número 14, Fast Wolf. También él es jugando esta noche en el juego de MVP. Fast Wolf will be playing tonight, representing for the MVP men's game later on. So he's got to save a little energy. He's been out on the line a lot today, Sleazer. And this team is putting up a huge, huge battle with Puget Sound. Like you were saying earlier, this is a pretty new team to the Men's Roller Derby Association, and they haven't had a lot of games allowed if, you know, travel and distance has kind of stopped that. So this is probably their first time having a 3-day tournament of high caliber skating.
It absolutely is. They do live near enough drive-by that they can play them. Because Baja California is I did not realize there's a part of California that's not in the United States, and that's where the team is from. It's actually in Mexico. Yeah, so geography, not my strong suit, if you guys didn't know that. Also math, not great at it. Working on one of the two.
Fantastic at announcing. There's Fast Wolf.
That's what I got, all right?
You were on it. This is my second year announcing at the Big O. I got to go to RollerCon announce there. It's a lot of fun, but always a learning challenge being on the web stream. So we hope you folks at home are enjoying and getting to watch from the comfort and leisure of your respective country. An international tournament always brings out the best in people. Unfortunately, airports do not. So we appreciate the fact that what it takes for these teams to get here is beyond the reasonable expectation for a 3-day tournament. If you got to drive an hour, totally different than flying for 12 and a half hours. Luckily, they didn't have to fly that long. But Huracan, number 99, going up against number 90, Mamba. And to the outside, to the inside, up at the top, Huracan has to reset behind bots. Mamba, your lead jammer for Puget Sound.
So Mamba taking a little bit of a spill to the inside. And he is back up, coming back behind number 25. That is Dr. Manhattan.
Wheels of Mayhem's jammer had to sit in the penalty box and will now have Esparza joining the blocking group for Wheels of Mayhem just in time for Mamba to sneak through on the inside and runs into DeGal, but jumps right over for 5 points. Fast Wolf also joining the penalty box. Now we have the jammer for Wheels back on the track. Huracan not wanting to go up against that 4-wall from Puget Sound. I do not blame him, but a spill at the top of turn 1 where Mamba goes down with number 25. A rough fall with Dr. Manhattan from the Wheels. Manhattan going to take a seat in the penalty box, joining his fellow comrade as Fast Wolf released back into the pack.
Mamba coming through, another 4 points on the board. In the meantime, both teams working it up there. Fast Wolf pushing along the Puget Sound's defenses, then trying to bust him up. That gives enough time for number 99 Huracan to make his way in.
Fast Wolf seemingly being picked on by this Puget Sound team. He's just happy to stay upright and in tight.
Everybody gets picked on in Derby.
That's
You
right.
know that. You used to skate, right?
I did.
Did they pick on you?
For 5 years here
They picked on
for
you
Emerald
so
City.
hard.
They did.
Don't
they
be
actually,
tall
Okay, I'll tell
and
you who
a
picked on me. The refs were always picking on me for all my illegal procedures.
That's what you know. Who they pick on a lot is I hear
penalty heavy people?
Wrecking Bill gets picked on.
Yes.
Yeah, that's what he's told me at least. How's that?
So they even went so far as to nickname me Elbow Bottoms because they knew my signature penalty, and I would always wear purple, and then I felt like they could target me on the track. So I started camouflaging myself, but it didn't work.
Dude.
I just had to skate more clean. That was the only way to get out from the wrath of the referee.
I absolutely defend the refs until I die.
I
we
know.
did have a skater in the Midwest that she used to paint her face up like a skull, and he was really good. And she tested one bout, like the first half she'd had the skull makeup, and the second half she didn't.
Yeah.
And she was like, I can tell the difference. And I'm like, I really hope you can't. That worries me.
Because the
So I'm
reality
like,
is referees are looking at bodies. They're not looking at your
yeah.
head. They're looking at your feet. They're looking at
I'm
your
looking at your
arms.
number, stuff like that. And it's like, I always had, I reffed for a while. I wasn't the best ref on the planet.
It's
but
hard.
once on the track, we all friends is how, I was like, we're all in the same team, teamwork, community, because sometimes I'm like a dork hippie. And that's how I like to think of it.
Hey, I appreciate the refs. I had to learn to skate clean. I mean, you either skate clean or you stay on the bench and you hurt the team. So, be cleaner than they can even find.
So clean.
Speaking of clean, Fast Wolf on the track against number 37, Stark. Wolf is hoping to stay out of the penalty box on this one, I am sure. Penalties will start to be affecting the teams in this second period. And up the inside is the Wheels of Mayhem. Número 14, Fast Wolf, su lead jammer. Y detrás de Señor Manhattan, el jammer en Stark es esperando porque ya tenemos Fast Wolf. Pass y gane un penalty, un back block. Gane 30 segundos en el caja. La caja de penalty box. Oh, man.
So
Just what he didn't want.
So that's going to bring us to a 2-minute jam. We've got about a minute left Stark is still in play and coming through right now. Rod trying to make a hole for him. Optimus Squad trying to help out there. Stark getting through, picking up 5 more points.
And a penalty going to number 22 on that last one, Optimus Quad. Going to sit in the penalty box as Stark re-enters behind Dr. Manhattan. And now has to get past DeGale and Ghost. The last line of defense from the Wheels. Ghost flipping around, but not in time to stop Puget Sound for 5 points. Fast Wolf out of the penalty box, and he is through. 5 puntos por Fast Wolf.
Grand slam on the way.
Con 20 minutos más en el segundo parte de este juegue de Wheels of Mayhem, Puget Sound. Oh, Stark goes down as he attempts to jump the apex. I think that was a hit by Dr. Manhattan, number 25. Some good sportsmanship on the track as everybody gives some high fives, even between teams.
Yeah, no, definitely. That's one of the things that I've always talked about with men's derby, especially like with international competition and stuff like that. Like, lower seed teams are always going to learn a lot from higher seed teams, and higher seed teams are also going to take something away. As long as everything's a learning experience, it's worth your time. And the camaraderie and sportsmanship that I've witnessed at the international competitions I've been at has been absolutely amazing, and this is no different today. As Hollywood chases Hurricane, smiles on faces, though.
Your lead, Wheels of Mayhem. Oh, and a huge hit. Will there be a penalty? No, 0-0. That was a legal hit from Hollywood at the end of that jam.
Definitely.
Hey, a 0-0 point game at this period is important for Wheels to maintain. If they can just keep a couple more of those down.
Certainly. They've only managed to score a couple of points in quite some time. Puget Sound Outcasts really not giving them any leeway. 247-30 with 20 and a half minutes left in the game.
Well, we'd like to thank our international audience. We know you're out there in the world. Make sure you hit us up on social media. Let us know how you're doing, what you're wearing while you're watching. Maybe not. But we know you're out there enjoying this fine Men's Roller Derby Association game, as well as these teams that have fought so hard to be here. Huracan number 99 in the pack as number 25, Dr. Manhattan, taking back with a huge hit, 309. Jammer for Puget Sound. Gets caught up with DeGale as well. And DeGale flipping around back up to the front to stop with pack of Fast Wolf and Dr. Manhattan, but it's not enough. 5 on the board for Seattle. Excuse me, Puget Sound.
Their jerseys do say Seattle. Somebody asked me if they're going properly by Seattle. They are from the Puget Sound region. Seattle sits on the Puget Sound.
Yes.
And not every one of them lives in Seattle, but Seattle, much like St. Louis and other large cities, like has bits to it like, oh, you're in Shoreline. Oh, yeah, you can also say you're in Seattle. Things like that. So these still are the Puget Sound Outcasts. Their jerseys do say Seattle, so everything's fine.
That's all good. Huracan,
all good. Number
99, looking for more, but not quite getting there. 5 points for Puget Sound in this last one.
So penalty-wise, I don't know if I've done a good job of keeping track, and I didn't check in between. We don't have live stats updates on this, so there's not a lot of penalty trouble. Thunderstruck was expelled this game for what was called an egregious forearm, or was it an elbow? Yeah, no, it was a forearm. There was a trip and then probably incidental contact, and sometimes, expulsions aren't always like, you did that on purpose, you had malicious intent, because it's not up to the refs to peer into your very soul.
Yes.
So sometimes it's not exactly what you want. Otherwise, overall, I think no one's over 4 penalties on the Outcast side. The only danger I see, as I'm under the impression Daredevil might be in about 5 penalties for Wheels of Mayhem, and we also haven't seen him jamming for a while.
Yes.
So I'm thinking I'm
I
right.
think he was the one that had the knee injury. He was holding some ice to his knee.
I can't remember now.
But anyhow, the bench trying to rest up for the Wheels, knowing that it's going to be a fight to the end here, as Puget is not giving them an inch, and Ponsonia attempting to get past that 4-wall. Just really no movement, hardly at all. A minimal movement forward, just enough to maintain the status quo of the game. Meanwhile, the blockers from Wheels of Mayhem decide to try to come up and play a little offense, possibly a little too late as Pongsonia is being taken back once again. And some squats being done by that blocker.
He's loosening those dang old hamstrings.
That's how they move backwards. So Mamba back in the action with Esparza knocking him to the inside. He has to reset, allowing one of the Puget Sound blockers to come up and try and get in there, but denied by DeGale. And Ghost leading the top of that now as well. Oof. Stringing by Esparza, allowing Lignan to keep holding holding Mamba to the game. Pongsonia has to get past 187 on Seattle. That's Big Bill. I think Pongsonia was hoping it was Little Bill that was up there.
Yeah. A couple times you've seen medium-sized Bill out. That's all right. Big Bill is trouble. It isn't a misnomer. He is a very tall man.
Oh, this game has been a fight.
So that's the natural conclusion of the jam. 4 points on that last pass for Puget Sound Outcasts. Bring him up. That was just a 4-point jam, I should say. 261. Wheels of Mayhem still at 30. We have 16 and a half minutes left in the game.
Let's talk about some fun stats from the Big O if you're out there. The longest distance traveled to get here was Victorian roller derby out of Australia, Melbourne specifically, about 8,000 miles. Next up is Buenos Aires, Argentina, 2x4. They've been here 6,700 miles to get here. The Helsinki, Finland team traveled 5,000 miles, and New York Shock Exchange, the men's team, 2,500 miles to get here. We have over 300 volunteers and 50 people on the committee that plans this amazing event. Of course, we wouldn't be able to do any of this without our officials and NSOs, about 130 officials, 26 announcers, 33 teams. Welcome to the Big O Day 3. If you're just joining us, we're about 15 minutes to go in this second period.
So an entire jam just went by. That was a 5-point jam, bringing Puget Sound Outcasts up to 266. Wheels of Mayhem still sitting at 30. Nobody's in the penalty box. That's the awesome news. So we've got the 5-on-5 on the track. Stark taking the line for the Outcasts. Hurricane for Wheels of Mayhem.
And that's Stark in the blue on the outside, takes one wrist drop to the outside, resets himself, but he's going to go off on penalty for that one. Going to sit in the box.
Did you see what the penalty was? When they're that close, and since they can just go boop into the box, I keep missing the echo.
I'm not sure. I did not catch it, but another Seattle blocker will be joining. Did you see that?
There's a power jam is what I'm like, hey.
Yes.
Here comes the other jammer. So I'm not sure what Big Bill is sitting for. Stark's going to pop up and come back into play, and that means number 99, Hurricane, isn't going to be in for terribly long himself.
And he's already standing. Of course, we can tell you guys that since we're not announcing to the whole team. Standing in the penalty box, number 99, Hurricane, re-enters behind a 3-wall that is consumed right now with number 25, hoping that he didn't get seen, but it looks like they saw.
You can always hope. One time I came in as a jammer and I said, "It's okay, guys, it's just me," and everybody kind of loosened up, and I was like, ha ha ha.
Number 99, Hurricane, out on his initial pass, and meanwhile, on a initial pass himself is Puget Sound's jammer. So an opportunity for the Wheels of Mayhem. He sneaks through and he's passed, but steps out, has to reset behind a hit by number 33, hoping to step in before drawing the cut, but it looks like he's got 5 points. A cut being issued to Hurricane. The 5 points was for Puget Sound.
Stark attempting an apex jump was not capable of landing in bounds that time. He's going to come back through the back of the pack. Woo! Optimus Squad landing a huge hit. I've been waiting all day for that hit. He was really smashing up Victoria the other day, and I've been waiting for a repeat of that. So huge hit from Optimus Squad is going to close out that jam.
And
4 points. Picked up by Wheels of Mayhem. And no points picked up on that pass, but a total of 10 points on the jam, bringing Puget Sound Outcasts up to 276, and Wheels of Mayhem at 34.
Well, you know, I'm having a good time up here on day 3. It's been a fantastic tournament. Yeah, we've got Fancy Pants, number 309, still putting up a fight, and number 99, Hurricane, starting in the box for wheels. Your lead for Puget Sound. Hurricane re-enters in front of, trying to jump and gets a huge apex jump.
Oh my gosh.
Oh, Hurricane, nice.
Hollywood tried to chase him. He did not get lead because lead wasn't open, but was that not beautiful?
It was fantastic. That's the kind of energy you just, every now and then when it just bursts out of a jammer, it's just like, where did you get that from?
Right?
You've been thinking about that jump all day. I'm going to give a web shout out to my Derby wives. They're here in their matching mermaid gear, and it's been a fantastic weekend. We've been supporting each other all weekend as fans and announcers and enjoying ourselves. It's a Derby community from all around the world, and we're so happy to invite our friends from Mexico, the Wheels of Mayhem. Number 14, 14, the Fast Wolf. On the star for Puget Sound is Mamba. And your lead being Puget Sound.
Bots coming back to the back to recycle Fast Whip as far back as he can.
Yeah, and a really reaching hit onto Mayhem, the jammer of Mayhem.
He took a
He's going to get a
hit to
penalty.
Bots. Yeah, so he got a high block. You saw Bots go down and hold his head. So now Power Jam to Puget Sound Outcast.
Fast Wolf, again, your MVP, voted to play later on tonight as well. All right, Mamba has to reset behind Lin Yan, and number 55 back in the game. Dared over, but not for long. Gonna take a few seconds in the penalty box as Fast Wolf is re-entering the pack. In front of Mamba, they get mixed up together, and Fast Wolf uses the opportunity to blast through. He's out.
So Fast Wolf out. Completed his initial, wasn't capable of picking up any points though, so a 0-point jam, keeping Wheels of Mayhem at 36-294. A 14-point jam for Puget Sound Outcast. We have just a tiny smidge over 10 minutes left in the game.
Well, do we have anyone else out there, Sleazer, that's going to be playing tonight? Yet another game.
1 zillion players are going to be playing other games. Beyond talking about the MVP bounce, if you stay tuned to this track, next up will be arch rival Roller Girls from St. Louis versus Crime City from Malmo, Sweden. And then after that, Rat City also from Seattle, Washington versus Helsinki. And if you, let's see, the track one, the last men's game starts at 4, which I think it's beyond that, isn't it? So if you, oh no, in 15 minutes. So you should be able to tune into New York Shock Exchange versus Vancouver Murder. And then, as we said before, 6:30, the Modified Juniors Expo, 8 o'clock, men's MVP, and 8:40, Big O women's MVP versus both Team USA's respectively. On track 3, if you tune in at 4, it's Windy City, of course, Chicago, from Pirate City, which is from New Zealand, at 4 o'clock. And then at 6 o'clock, Victorian, which is from Australia, and Texas, which is from Texas.
I have heard and have expected that the arch rival Crime City game will be exceptional.
Yeah.
And I have seen Texas playing and Victorian playing all weekend, and I mean, we know that's going to be a huge game.
Right.
And I'm excited because I think I get to watch it. So do you fine folks at home.
Please send me more requests for LinkedIn. That would be great.
A little
You
conversation.
pointed, and I was like, did I miss something? Okay.
No, just commenting
Okay,
how
cool.
big of a game Victorian versus
yeah.
Texas later
That'll
on
be
tonight. That's
just
probably going to be
insane.
the last ginormous WFTDA women's game. Of course, today the men's action still continues, like you said. But back to the action on the track, Sleazer. We've got Ponsonia, number 108, going up against
24/7
Hollywood.
You gotta kind of sing his name. Yeah, exactly.
And Hollywood stuck behind a pretty immovable 3-wall. I'm really impressed by the blockers' stamina from the Wheels of Mayhem. They've been going out like every single jam. And Hollywood, your lead jammer, as Ponsonia sneaks up the outside, trying to catch up with Hollywood. Ponsonia, very stealthy, low skater, able to sneak by like underneath other skaters' knees and hips. Very tricky. 3 points on the board for Hollywood and 0 for the Wheels.
You don't actually have to say. I'm just.
I know.
Okay, good. I was like, don't feel pressured by crazy talk.
Pregunté cómo decir Wheels of Mayhem in Espanol, and they were like, just say Wheels of Mayhem because it doesn't really
I was actually
translate.
like, I was going to ask you in between, do you know Mayhem in Spanish? I'm just curious now.
I think somebody jokingly said Wheels of your mother or something.
Oh my gosh. Awkward.
Número 99, Hurricane, empiece por el Wheels of Mayhem. Y tenemos Kieran en azul por Puget Sound. Kieran recibe un penalty. Oh, Digales en la caja. Y tienes como más o menos 5 segundos para regresar al equipo in the track. And back on the track is Digale. Hands being thrown up by some of those Wheels of Mayhem blockers going, I don't know what's going on. 99 has 2 to beat. Everybody trying to decide, are we going to rush up? Are we going to stay back? Well, it looks like Ghost came up and some stringing by Digale. Ghost still in the mix-up. Puget Sound trying to draw back some of those blockers. Oh, almost out Huracan, but he's caught up by 2 more Puget Sound blockers. Just really toe stop grinding to the outside. He's through. Huracan, your lead jammer, Wheels of Mayhem.
52 seconds if the champ picks up lead. 50 seconds.
7 minutes, 40 seconds to go in this second period. Kieran re-entering the track for Puget Sound after serving his time in the penalty box. The Outcasts team not making it easy on the jammer in white. He's literally stepping his leg in between the blockers just to get in there. And number 5 is also somehow squishing into that 3-wall of blue at the top of the pack. Huracan likes to do the spin to get himself out. He's being drawn back with number 22. And the pivot from the Outcasts now taking over that jammer position.
That is fancy pants, but it is going to end before he gets into scoring.
Well, it was a fancy pass. I didn't even see it.
Right.
Of course, some of the new rule wording is that the helmet cover has to be visible to the referees. It can't be literally like stashed in your shirt or
tuck it into your wrist guard or something.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I do always wonder how when they rip it off that they don't rip off their pivot helmet when they're passing back and forth.
Well, they can't
pass back.
Once it's on their head, that's that.
It's it.
So, and then if in between jams they still are, like if they go to the box, they usually take the pivot off from underneath, so you don't have the stack, because they're hot anyway, right?
Yeah. So if they were the pivot in the jam going into the penalty box and then they're wearing the star, when they come out, do they lose that status as being the pivot if once they pass it again? Then there's no pivot in the next jam.
Well, if they go in the box as the jammer and another jam starts, they are not both the pivot and the jammer. So the pivot can be fielded because there is, like on the paperwork, you would switch when there's a star pass. You switch who is pivot and jammer on the paperwork. So the next jam, you can field a new pivot because technically there is no pivot.
You guys, I think that we all just learned something about the rules.
I don't know.
Ref, yeah.
I don't know. I haven't reffed in a long time. I was like NSO for a long time. So I'm like, if you look at the paperwork.
No, that's a good perspective. And on the track, your lead jammer, Mamba, number 90 for Puget Sound, as Fast Wolf being taken back behind 309 Fancy Pants, and a wall joined by number 33 in the blue. That's Arsenic. Haven't seen him much on the track today.
Landed a huge hit earlier, and then I haven't seen him in a while.
Well, we'd like to welcome Arsenic back. He's going to take a nice little reprieve with his fellow blockers, trying to form a 3-wall at the top of the pack, looking to see that Mamba is going to the penalty box or standing near it. Going to call the jam. So, looks like Mamba thought he was going to the penalty box, realized he wasn't, calls the jam from right outside the penalty box. But we'll see if there's any official reviews or anything regarding that.
There it is. You nailed it.
Yep.
Well, potentially.
Yeah.
Let's
Could there be
let's
a penalty
speculate
for
wildly.
not?
Let's speculate. Perhaps the other team does not think that Mamba has been dancing an appropriate amount on the line when there is extra time.
There's been a lot of downtime where he could have been dancing.
Sure. Maybe that's what they're discussing. There's my wild speculation for today.
I
Well,
haven't seen too much dancing.
there's still another
on
game
behalf
coming
of
up.
Wheels, though.
we could all be dancing. There was once I knew I wasn't going to get any information from the alts, and Hollywood was coaching one of the Rat City home teams, and so I started making them, and I was saying that Hollywood was contesting that the jammer shouldn't be able to dance on the jammer line because Hollywood was 100% dance free.
He looks like he's all business.
No, he's not. He's so nice.
He's like down to his last pair of uniforms for the weekend. He's really put it out there already.
Well,
Hollywood jammer.
Hollywood is actually like this. So this is his third sanctioned bout back after being jumped in Texas on the street before champs.
That's right.
Yeah,
Wow.
so he would have closed out champs with us last year if random people, literally random people, it sounds like almost made up. It's just like random people mistook him for someone else, and he was not capable of playing champs. So it's so good to see him back, and he's always such a positive force on the track. And then, of course, terrifying to block against.
Yeah.
So,
Well, when I was finishing up my derby career, I was on the travel team, and we were to the point of playing our local men's team, LCC, head-to-head several times in scrimmages. I was on the B team. We would step in and join A team to scrimmage against them, and it was tough because I was used to being a very tall skater compared to other skaters on my team, and then we had several very large skaters, and they just hit different. I had to learn that it wasn't better or worse, it was just different. They came from a lot of shoulder hits towards me. I wasn't used to that, so you just learn to skate a little different. But I really enjoyed my time with our Lane County Concussion local men's roller derby athletic association's sanctioned team. And Wheels of Mayhem had a huge win over LCC last night. It was a well-fought game, and like LCC said, they were sort of underestimated for underestimating Wheels of Mayhem, and so good to see these teams grow and change over the years. And as we know, rosters change, people move, and rankings change. So every year it's different.
Fact. This is not a monolith. Nothing is monolithic.
Exactly.
So,
and we've had so many changes in both women's and men's sanctioned teams that you just don't know what to expect. But right now, I did expect Hollywood to get lead jammer, and he did. And Fast Wolf trying to maintain a single toe stop to straddle the line. He gets knocked out by Bots. Bots looking for more action, takes him right to the outside. Fast Wolf kind of going, I'm over you, Bots. And Hollywood sneaks through on that one, seemingly unscathed. 5 points, Puget Sound.
how sneaky can you be at like 6'4"?
I know.
I'm just.
I didn't hear a squeak. Fast Wolf, 2 to beat, making it tough. Bots doing some good teamwork blocking. That's what I've really seen improve in men's roller derby is the teamwork. I hate to say it, but first couple of years I watched, there was a lot of lone wolf hits, and it looks like everybody's learned.
Speaking of wolves, that was Fast Wolf had gotten through on his initial, did not get in time to score. 3 more points brought to you by Puget Sound Outcasts, bringing us to 323. Wheels of Mayhem still at 43.5 minutes left in the game.
You had a list of who else from these two teams will be playing tonight. Where'd that go?
Let's shift it around. We've got too much papers in front of us. Did I steal it? Phil's got it in front of him. Phil stole it.
All right, from Puget Sound, Stark is going to be joining the MVP roster.
As well as Mamba. And from Wheels of Mayhem, it's going to be Dr. Manhattan and...
Fast Wolf.
Yeah, Fast Wolf. Sorry, I was like, skipped a line and I was like, Carla Fu does not play for... What? Okay, I'm on top of it. It's been a long weekend.
Bongsonia taking the jammer star for Wheels. He jammed a ton against LCC yesterday and did a great job sneaking by. Now he is a sneaky little jammer and he will just with one leg get right through. Right now up in the mix, the Puget Sound jammer starting in the penalty box. And now standing number 37 Stark.
Being denied by that wall of deep dark barrier.
And Stark back in the action. And meanwhile, Bongsonia sneaks out the outside line and is through initial pass. No points on that one. Looks like he's looking for a point at points. We have no lead jammer. This is going to go the full 2 minutes. With about 40 seconds left to go in that. And Seattle's jammer jumps out. That's Stark, number 37.
Stark coming in now. There's a two brace in the back that awaits him that sweeps over, meeting the other two blockers from Wheels of Mayhem. And they're going to split up. Hurricane going up front, trying to bust up Puget Sound's defenses. Corporal Punishment has a word with him regarding this.
That was Reed Runner, who was teaming up back there with DeGale to stop Stark. Has an opportunity to do it again with one of Puget Sound's blockers behind, going for Bongsonia. And once again, Hurricane and 217 Lin Yan. Not enough to stop. 5 points scored, including the jammer point by Puget Sound.
This is the natural conclusion of the jam. It feels so long, the 2 minutes, right?
3 points on that last one from Bongsonia. That's a good little into the jam, I think. We will be happy with that.
So there's a 3-point jam to a 10-point jam. 333 to 43 in favor of Puget Sound Outcasts. We have enough time for one more jam.
That's right. Let's give a quick shout out and name this jam the Fingers Duke Jam. Possibly our last jam of this game. And Kieran on the board for Puget Sound.
So lead jammer status is going to go to Kieran.
Fast Wolf at the back has a chance to get by, but taken to the out by Bot and number 309 Fancy Pants. Oh, these skaters are showing day 3 skating.
I hear the whistles. Actually, I think they're quite well controlled for day 3.
Yeah, I'm really pleased, and I won't even say it, but I'm pleased that our Harmony medics have been bored all day. It's good.
So, through on his initial Fast Wolf. Kieran's going to go ahead and call it, though. The period clock had expired, so your unofficial final, 3:42 to 43. We'll see. We've got 30 seconds that anybody can contest the score. I feel like they'd have to make a pretty crazy case to be like, hey, there's actually a 302-point difference right now. So unless math or the world changes, it looks like Puget Sound Outcasts are going to have dominated in this one, but it was a lovely display, and it's always wonderful to see Wheels of Mayhem.
Yes, we welcome them to their first year at the Big O, and we thank you. Gracias for our audience in Mexico cheering on the Wheels of Mayhem. We're going to give just a few more seconds before that official score is released, and I have had the pleasure of announcing with you, Sleazer.
Finally.
Yeah,
Finally.
It's like we've been Facebook
After
friends
all
forever.
of this time, yes.
That's
So
right.
it's been lovely. Yeah, it should be just awkward pause for that final.
Well-
Single tear for this awkward pause, am I right?
I think it's safe to say Puget took this
Definitely.
one. I am Apple Bottoms Up. Thank you for joining us.
I'm Julia Sleazer, and I will see you at the MVP men's bout.
Yes, and I'll be right there with you.